What's up guys? Jen K here. I'm a certified personal trainer and a nutrition coach. Today I wanted to talk to you guys about fats. Holla! Before we get started, hit subscribe if you're interested in health, nutrition, fitness, performance, longevity, okay? Because I'm all into that stuff and I like sharing my knowledge with y'all. So go ahead and hit subscribe. We're going to talk about fats, okay? High quality, healthy fats versus the bad fats. Fats aren't going to make you fat, okay? There is a common misconception that fats make you fat. Well, the bad ones may, but the good ones are actually amazing for us. So fact, our cells, our organs, our brains are made of fat. So we need high quality fats to function optimally. Fat containing cholesterol helps build the outer coating of our cells, okay? It also helps produce the bile acids that we need for digestion, and it's really the building blocks for our hormones, really. Cholesterol and fats, they're not the enemy. So good fats, they're essential, okay, to hormone production, regulating our metabolism, brain function, what else? Weight loss, and anti-inflammation. So inflammation is a huge problem in the West because we follow this sort of standard American diet where they recommend high carbs, okay, low fats. If you're following a low fat diet, no. We don't want to follow a low-fat diet. We need those fats. They don't promote weight gain, okay, and they don't pose a health risk. So you may be wondering, well, tell me more, Jen. What are the right fats? What are the high-quality fats? All right, so two things to understand when it comes to thinking about the quality of the fat, okay? Two things. The first one is how long that fat molecule is, the length of it. So you've got short and medium chain triglycerides. Triglyceride is basically just another word for fats, and then you've got your long chain. So the shorter the fat molecule is, the rarer, the harder it is to find, and the more anti-inflammatory it is. So we want to stick to the short and medium chain fats, right? The triglycerides. And you've probably heard of MCT oil. Okay, MCT stands for medium chain triglycerides, okay? And that's found in like coconut oil. So the second way to understand fats is just how stable it is. How able is it to withstand the heat, the light, the air, okay? Because what you can get is things getting oxidized, right? Fats getting oxidized by the heat, by the air, by the oxygen. And we don't want that oxidation because that oxidation, that creates inflammation, and that creates free radicals, right? That's what gets us to age. So we want the fats that are going to be stable. Now, the fats that are the most stable are saturated fats from healthy pasture raised, healthy grass-fed animals, pasture raised egg yolks. Then you also have your unsaturated fats. And the unsaturated fats, that's your mono and your polyunsaturated fats. Your mono is the best one you want to stick with. That's like olives, olive oil, and avocados. However, they're more stable than the polyunsaturated fats, but they also, they break down easily when you apply heat to them. So that's why if you've heard, don't cook with olive oil because it's going to break it down. It can't withstand that heat. Olive oil is great to just put fresh on your salads or fresh on some vegetables. Avocados, you don't want to apply heat to those either. And with oxidation, there's visible sort of telltale signs to things that have been oxidized. That's usually the brown or blackish color, like the discoloration in food. So have you ever cut an apple in half and you let it sit there for 5 minutes or more and you see that it gets brown? Okay, that's oxidation. It's getting exposed to the light, to the air, and you don't want to eat that. Okay, same thing with avocados. You know how they turn brown? You don't want to eat the brown and the black stuff because that's oxidized, okay? That's only going to create inflammation. let's talk about the polyunsaturated fats, okay? Those fats, those are the omega-6s. Now the problem with those is normally the way they're processed, okay, at high heats, so they're already broken down and they're already denatured or oxidized. So they're already going to create inflammation, and also the way the crops on some of those have mold. So let me give you some examples. Polyunsaturated fats are corn oil, canola oil, cottonseed oil, peanut oil, palm kernel oil. What else? Flax oil, I believe, and I know I'm missing some. Oh, sunflower oil and safflower oil, and all those vegetable oils, okay, those are polyunsaturated fats, and they are already pretty much the way they're processed, they're already broken down, they're already oxidized by the time you get them. And then also too, we cook with them and they're getting even more oxidized. And the crops on those, like corn and canola, cottonseed, those crops, they're contaminated with mold, okay? It's called mycotoxins. Those are mold toxins. That also creates inflammation. So we don't want any of that. We want, okay, if we're gonna do unsaturated fats, olive oil, olives, avocados are the ones to stick with. Oh, and so also too, what I was saying about polyunsaturated fats, those are the omega-6s. Now, there's nothing inherently wrong with having omega-6s. We actually want to have some, but the problem is in our standard American diet, there's an overabundance of omega-6s, and we actually want more omega-3s, and we want less omega-6s. We kind of want a healthy ratio. I think it's about I want to say a 2-to-1 ratio or something. So if you keep your carb intake lower and you have your high quality fat intake higher, your body's going to learn to burn fat for fuel more efficiently, okay? And that's what we want. So let's get to the nitty gritty. What are the high quality fats? I've talked about how you can figure it out based on the stability of them, based on how long or short that medium chain, or that's like things like butter from grass-fed cows. That's egg yolks from pastured chickens, right? The organic pasture raised eggs. Those egg yolks are so amazing for us. Oh, coconut. Coconut oil, coconut in general is amazing. Okay, we've got MCT oil. That's also very good for you. Avocado oil is good. That's a monounsaturated fat. And then we have our nut butters. We have our raw nuts, right? Cashews, macadamias, walnuts, you get the point. Almonds. And then we've got our nut butters, almond butter, macadamia butter, right? Cashew butter, and the raw tahini. Notice how I did not mention peanut butter, because peanuts, like I said, it's already damaged, right? Peanuts are highly inflammatory, so I don't do peanut butter. So you ask what polyunsaturated fats are? Okay, yeah, that's like corn oil, canola oil, cottonseed oil, soybean oil, palm and palm kernel oil. What else? Oh, safflower oil, sunflower oil. Okay, these are all like pretty much no-nos. And another way we can get more fats into our diet is if you get yogurt, I would just recommend getting the full fat yogurt. Stay away from the low fat, the non-fat yogurt, because the problem with that is that they've had to process that even more to cook the fats out, okay? We don't want that. We want the least amount of processing, and we want those fats, but we want those fats from healthy animals. So full fat yogurt from organic, pasture raised, I think they call them grass-fed cows, or even better, yogurt, full fat yogurt from sheep, okay, and from goats. So those are my recommendations. Full fat yogurt. So I eat full fat yogurt from a pasture raised or grass-fed cows, okay? So, and that I have problems breaking down like dairy and stuff. So I don't do milk. I don't do cheese. The yogurt and the butter and the eggs, are probably about the only dairy that I do, and from what I've learned in all my studies, that's the dairy that doesn't give us the problems if you get it from healthy animals. So yogurt, stay away from the low-fat, non-fat shit, okay? You want the stuff that is more closer to its wholesomeness. Oh, I know what I wanted to share with you. Okay, olive oil. Olive oil is good for us if we're not cooking with it, okay? But also, you get a lot of olive oils that come from Europe, okay? Olive oil is heavy. So a lot of the manufacturers, to save on cost, they transport the olive oil via ship, okay? That means by the time it's been like manufactured and then it gets to you and gets on the shelf and you buy it, that shit's like several months old already. And we're talking about the stability, right? It's gone rancid. We want to avoid things that are rancid. So I would recommend, if you're buying olive oil, buy olive oil from California, okay? It's not going to be as old. What oils can you cook with? Okay, we want to cook with the stable oils, the ones that have a good smoking point, right? That can sustain. I don't know what I'm trying to say. that could deal with the heat, right? You've heard the phrase, if you can't take the heat, get out the kitchen, right? So we want to cook with oils that can take the heat. So what is that? MCT oil. It's completely unflavored, which is great. You won't taste it. Coconut oil, that's a good one to cook with. I cook with butter with my eggs. It's the grass-fed butter. It's so delicious, but I gotta be careful though, because again, speaking about oxidation, when I'm preheating the pan and I put the butter on, if the pan got too hot and that butter starts browning, no, it's bad for you. So be careful with the level of heat you use too. You don't want that butter turning brown. Avocado oil is also a good one to cook with. So another way you can just consume more fats, right? I mentioned the avocados, I mentioned olive oil, the nuts, right? Egg yolks, the butter from grass-fed cows, but meat, right? From healthy grass-fed animals. So I eat red meat actually almost every day, and I'm healthy as heck. I was gonna say the F word, but I hope this was informational for you. I hope this helped clear up some questions. I didn't really get into the cholesterol, the topic, and how that's sort of a misconception and how we should avoid those yolks. That's going to be another video. I do want to address that, but cholesterol is not the enemy. Just keep that in mind. As long as you're eating from healthy chickens, healthy animals, you're good. Okay? All right, guys, be well, and let me know if you've got any questions by leaving a comment. Okay? And until then, I'll see you in the grocery store.